Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Overcast. We are your weatherman, your meteorologist,
Whether you
and
like it or not.
whether you like it or not, we are here to talk about James Gunn. I know, we gave a little bit of our thoughts in our Superman episode, but we're here to go a little bit deeper. Solo had an idea about transitioning a fan favorite character into the new DCU. But before we do that, we do have to talk about some of the. Hold on, let me make sure I got all of this stuff up.
Because we not gun shy.
Hey, we are not gun shy. And as the episode title uh, may be, the gun don't jam. The gun don't jam,
And we don't want gun control, not in
and
DC.
and we and we don't want. I like that one. Oh, I like that one. Like, we don't want gun control in DC. Okay, hold on. Let's make sure I got everything. Damn, I didn't. When did I send this? When did Man, I sent y'all some. Man, that ramen dog. That ramen, man. Oh, did you see the ramen based stuff that I sent? Oh, let's
No, I
see.
haven't clicked on it yet, but
I know where it's. We could do it later. Let's do X. Grant.
and my angle. I can't wait to talk about this because my angle has everything to do with the fact that James Gunn is famously talked about how it was like corporations versus governments versus metas, and in between that it's like humans and all that. And that's the angle I kind of wanted to go at, how he could include like and this is because I read like an article saying that he's having a long, and he's had to have uh to plan long and hard and how to include Static, and I'm like, Static's like low hanging fruit, man. As far as how to introduce him, where it's a different story because
Yeah.
you know uh do you want to introduce Static as a teenager? Because he's like 15 when he becomes a superhero, so like he was in high school. You know what I mean? Almost like a Peter Parker thing. And what type of media would you make it? Would you make it a TV show, or would you make it a movie?
Yep, that's going to be the meat and potatoes of our episode. Real quick before we dive into that, we're going to talk about a little bit of confirmed news. And here we got, um, it's been all but confirmed that, we had some talk and we had some deliberation on who we thought could be Batman, and he was mentioned a few times in our circle. But we have to agree now, and this has been vetted. This screenshot is a couple days old, but it's been vetted throughout a lot of things. He's not, but there's all kinds. There was I can't. I saw the name, Mr. Adam. No, not Mr. Adam. It's Mr. Adam, like white with a red thing right here.
The Atom?
The
Yeah, yeah,
Adam.
yeah, yeah.
Someone mentioned the Adam.
Captain Atom. I think it's
Let
Captain
me
Atom.
look at the picture. Captain Adam.
I think it's Captain Atom.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody said Captain Adam. Um, who do you? What do you think, Eli? I mean, I think if he wasn't such a great guy to be wasted on a villain, he would have make a great Bane in the new DCU. But I don't want him to be a one and done. I don't want him to be, that. Obviously, we had our thoughts about him as Aquaman. I would definitely feel like he has the build to portray that character, and he has in Smallville. Um, Uh, I don't think he. So let's see. Who do you think?
For him, I think for him, like you know my feelings on him being Aquaman. I think that's low hanging fruit for him. Batman, I can see why. They probably want somebody that looks age wise closer to Corn Sweat because Bruce and Clark look relatively around the same type of age. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember watching the animated series and Bruce is taking Lois out, like, on interview dates, whatnot, making Clark
Yeah,
jealous.
yeah, yeah. I remember those trying to piss off Clark. I do remember those.
And
Um,
and that's what
but,
she ain't know. So
but we already got our Green Lanterns. Um,
yeah, they got that out the way quick, didn't they?
they got that out of the way quick. They got Superman out of the way. Supergirl done. Green Lanterns done. They Hawk Girl done. Mr. Terrific, is he in this picture? I don't
Oh,
see.
this. I love this.
But this is animated. Not everyone's gonna be. I just kind of pulled up a picture that had a bunch of different kind
No,
of
but
heroes to see like who
you,
he could possibly be. We could possibly see a steal too if they do a bunch of. I mean, this got the opportunity to rebirth a lot of Superman franchises too. Let's see if I can find a different one.
who I want to see is Plastic Man.
You want to say Plastic Man? Isn't he like rumored to be like one of the most powerful?
Yeah, he is. He's he's probably he's probably in his own way indestructible. He's like Mr. Fantastic, like on steroids, though.
Let's see, who do we see in here? That stroke is big as hell. But we'll honestly and truly dedicate an entire episode to that. But ultimately and truly, he ain't gonna be Batman. So that's still out on the table. People are still fan casting that, but I don't have anybody I could think of like off the top of my head, and so that I have seen David Corn Sweat in like one other movie before, and I didn't realize he was in Twisters. He played like the bumbling assistant to the main guy, and like not that he wasn't memorable, but it's like I didn't. Okay, but I can't see anyone else as Superman right now. And then I know that with the way James Gunn is doing things, that's the same thing we're gonna get when it comes to whoever Batman is once that happens. And they've been pretty great about keeping those leaks on the down low. Next big thing, I'm super excited about this one. I was telling my boys that my introduction to Clayface was this Clayface. And
Uh,
so I'm super interested because not that I know the story, it's just, hey, look, man, how often it's the one that I know. It's the story that I know. It's not a comic book that I haven't read or whatever, and not done anything with. But I'm super excited about this.
See, the funny thing is about that, the we like James Gunn's a genius. Out of all the bad guys that we grew up with, this one was the one that's never been done
Mm-hmm.
on screen. We've had Croc on the Suicide Squad. How we?
Yeah, yeah. And so I'm excited. In theater September 11th, 2026. I shit. That's literally just about a year from now. And so, do you think we're waiting that long for the Batman reveal? Do you think they're gonna be able to keep it under wraps that much that they're gonna be able to keep who Batman is? Because you gotta understand that in the Clayface movie, that's someone who has to show up at some point, obviously. So, do we know who he is before then, or is Clayface going to be the movie that makes it is going to be his reveal?
Well, I think that James Gunn said that Batman currently in the DCU is not a famous character. He's not as famous as like Superman.
Okay.
He exists. He's active. He's just not famous. So I'm thinking that Clayface is going to be his debut.
Okay. I agree. I can agree. With Gunn, what I feel like is happening right now when it comes to Gunn and the stuff that's happening is the fact that he's taken a lot of time to sit, which is a pause. We need to watch uh Path Peacemaker season 2,
Season 2.
but that means we also got to watch season 1. But season 2, we got to plan it so while we're watching it, every time this entire season, with 2 episodes in. So I say the way we do shit, it's 8 episodes. If we can commit sometime tomorrow or over the next week or so, we can all knock it out. And he he live tweets during these episodes and releases part of the canon. So my thing right now with James Gunn is I feel like, and the fans are giving him a lot of grace, because when it comes to, they don't like that picture, when it comes to him let everyone know what's going on and let everyone know what everyone's doing and what his plan is, he is telling us little tidbits. So I feel like the fans are again giving them grace in the point where they're not digging super deep. They are not going out of their way to ruin things. He's made it sort of like a fun thing to like, hey, wait, he's going to say something. Let's just wait and see what it is, and then we'll go off that, instead of like, what are we hearing from the set of Doomsday? Avengers Doomsday is what they fighting on set.
Yeah, well, the thing that James Gunn has is that he gets to operate from like a platform of success. Like, they fired him out of Marvel while
And
he
why?
was.
Explain that to me, because I didn't, I knew, so I didn't, obviously. I'm getting better at paying attention to directors and writers and producers and stuff like that, because I want to make sure that I follow those people's work that I enjoy, him being one. And so I didn't realize how many movies of his that I enjoyed, um how many movies that I enjoyed of his that I didn't know were his, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So let me pull up his thing right now.
Brightburn. I love that one.
Yes, again, I thought Brightburn was a fucking cool movie. Okay, so like, again, I didn't follow directors, I didn't follow anything like that, so I literally didn't pay attention to any of this stuff. But to know that he's been a part of a lot of the things that I like, I'm super, super excited. So obviously, Superman. I enjoyed Suicide Squad. Again, I don't know a whole lot about DC, so I enjoy a lot of the stuff that I guess I enjoy more of the things I don't send, because it's new to me. And so it's, as far as I look at it, is their chance to like show me this universe and not fuck it up. And so far, with James Gunn, we got Superman, we got Suicide Squad. I loved all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I thought they were cool. Superman, we're going to do Creature Commandos. That's on our list. Brightburn, I thought could have been a universe. I feel like this was his fucking, hey, what if Clark movie. You know,
He
um,
did that on purpose. That was
I,
on purpose.
I absolutely know. Slither, I saw years ago. Didn't know it was his. I don't remember anything that I hated about it, which means I didn't. I didn't. You know, that's how I usually will. But a lot of this shit I didn't fucking know, man. And so explain to me his firing. I still didn't know he did the Joker suit. He did 13 Ghosts. I just watched that the other day. So explain to me his firing.
It was over something like political, I believe. Some type of outcry. You'd have to look it up for details. Like I didn't think it was the biggest deal. Obviously, his fan base stay loyal. It ain't like he's not getting invited to Coachella or whatever it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's on top of the world. He just got invited to you know make the biggest Superman movie of all time.
Okay.
So you gotta think it wasn't that the worst thing in the world. Whatever it is that got him canned over that Marvel.
So
It
he
was
was an actor as well. I didn't realize he was an actor also. But okay.
it is, but
All
but yeah,
right. So meat and potatoes. I've been really excited because I know Solo's excited too because he almost started talking to me about it. He called me and was like, "Hey, look, I got a fucking great idea," and I knew then. I was like, "Shit, we got to get this done," because he almost talked to me about it then. So we are here to talk about Static Shock. Static Shock and his introduction into, um, the DCU as a character, you know, as whatever. He also has some hype coming up that is not the official thing, is it? He also has some hype coming up because um he is getting a comic book run with Batman Beyond. So they're
yep,
bringing Batman Beyond back in the comics and as well, and he's getting a crossover uh with yeah, here we go. He's getting a crossover with them, and the covers for these absolute fantastic. They are gorgeous.
that a
It's a
grown man now.
static a grown man now, doing grown man things. Um,
Terry McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis, who by far is my favorite Batman, and that is because as as a kid, I got it. Didn't have access to a whole lot of no one. I'm gonna take it back. No one did. No one had access to the vast amount of information that we have now. And so, everything that we learned back then was word of mouth. We talked to someone about it. Someone showed it. We happened to walk. It was our turn on the TV. So we got to flip through something. We found it. It was never like, hey, I could just Google some shit and then Google give me 18 things that's just like it. Otherwise, but me being a young kid who loved technology, um, my cousin's Zero, he put me on and stuff over his house. Saw this, blew my mind because this was the Batman that I wanted. I wanted that tech Batman, black and red, my favorite colors. So I
Right, right.
also thought that he looked cool as shit, and I wanted to be that Batman. And so hearing about this gives me hope because this means that yeah, and what they a lot of things that we see too, and we can hope on that in the past is that a lot of this stuff coincide. They try to get hype, and it all and and all these people watching or whatever. It all starts at the comics. It all starts at the comics, and it all starts at that media. And when it comes to here, if this picks off, I already pre-ordered some covers. I'm going to be there to pick up and follow this series. Make sure I do because I have faith and well, at least I hope and a hype with knowing that back in our day there was no hey man. I wish there was a can't do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because we got that. But I wish there was uh, a Gundam movie. We didn't get a Gundam movie. We got Pacific Rim, something similar. You know,
Yeah.
we didn't think that a lot of stuff we watched and we saw and we read was exactly that and stayed exactly that. We didn't believe it would ever grace our screens. We got this in cartoon form. We know they like to bite on that. They're bringing this back. So this is a small entry back into people's minds. What was your idea of introducing him into the universe? You think, it might, this might just me asking questions. Were you thinking more of a standalone entry into uh
Well,
movie into, or that you think that's too risky, or do you think him more of a introduction into a movie with a large part, then spinoff? Because I think they begging for Mr. Terrific right now.
well, well, you can you can do this
You
one
might.
of many. Oh, you can do this one of many ways. Because you have to understand, and this is all about timing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Static Shock is a sophomore. I think definitely. I don't know if I'm almost sure it's not a freshman, but he's a young man. Think Peter Parker,
Okay.
that age when he becomes a superhero, right? And remember, James Gunn said it. There's three factions. There's three factions you got to be always aware of.
Three
And he,
factions.
yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah. All right, so the metas are one faction. That's Superman, the Justice Gang, um, you know, all the super entities that are out there as far as like metahumans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's the metahumans. There's the corporation. Uh, is the metahumans, the corporations, and the governments.
Okay.
And the thing is, the birth of Static Shock was through corporations' mishap.
So he's saying in his universe, there's going to be the metahumans, there's going to be the corporation created people, and then what was the third? The government, right?
Yeah, so it's not even so. All right, so it's like this. So there's always three powers at work, right?
Okay.
There's the metahumans inside of this universe. There's the corporations trying to vie for control,
Create and or control metahumans.
or just get control of something, like Luthor Corp.
Okay.
Like Lex's whole thing wasn't about controlling the government or anything. It was about trying to rid the world of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like he wasn't like necessarily trying to hurt like citizens. People just got in the way. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? like
Yeah.
he was just you know what I mean? It's like being mad at Amazon. You know, like for something like that's Luther Corp wasn't like I don't know if can you bring up that article James Gunn was talking about the three corporations because I think I don't want to take his
What's
words
it
out
called?
of
What did he call it? Rule of three. Three. James Gunn. Meta.
because the way he explains it leads me to believe that having while you look that up, I'll talk about the corporations as far as like he had the corporation ranked. Like he said, Luther Corp and Wayne Industries are like top tier.
Uh-huh.
Then because he talked about like his brother played Maxwell Lord. Lord Tech sponsors the Justice Gang. You
Here we
know what I'm
go.
saying?
So, what makes the DCU tick, according to Gunn, the real powers of the universe lies in three competing forces: metahumans, governments, and corporations, and that includes Wayne Enterprises. So, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no. It's within that I'm saying that And he talks about, I think there was like a rank structure. Every corporation isn't, um, all of them aren't comparable. Like Wayne Industries is up there, yes, sure. Luther Corp is up there, yes. But there's like corporations even below them that are vying for power to try to get those top spots. And the industry, I mean the corporation that ended up causing what they call the Big Bang, um, was Alva Industries in DC, a very new corporation, um, created for the express reason to explain how Static Shock got his powers.
Okay.
So they called them Bang Babies. Um, like when Static
And,
Shock got his,
his iteration of people created by that corporation called Bang Babies.
yeah,
Okay.
and then the and then the people that got their powers late were called late boomers.
Okay. This is
That's
in
how
Static Shock's world.
this is just Static Shock.
Okay.
I just know it because
But you know, you got to think about it like this. That happens everywhere. Metropolis got its own ecosystem when it comes to, you know what they're called, and then they are called different things. But I didn't know. So people given powers by corporations, metahumans, you have to be born with the power
no. Well, the term metahuman is a catch-all phrase for anybody with
with
powers.
powers
So they called, at many instances, Superman's been called a metahuman, and he's not.
because
You
he's
know,
an alien.
by the classic term of it, he's not. But like 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 but it is a catch-all. The metahumans means anybody with powers. Actually, even Superman, I mean, Batman is considered like a metahuman in that um thing because it's all about superheroes at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day. But but yeah, um, they because the remember Gotham City, Static Shock doesn't take place. Static Shock's origin story doesn't begin in Gotham.
Yeah, it's its
I
own town.
mean, yeah, Dakota City. It was Dakota City.
Okay.
Dakota City and Alva Industries. Alva Industries is like
Alpha
the
Industries is the
biggest.
one he got his powers from.
Yeah, they Alva Industries is like, it's almost like the Hershey Company. You know how the everybody in Dakota City works at like
Yeah,
Alva
yeah, yeah,
Industries.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like that, so it's like a hometown thing, whatever the case may be. Um, some big accident happened. These vapors ended up changing people's genetics, and there was, but the crazy thing is that even in the cartoon you didn't see a big DC universe response to that. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't see Superman. Come down and check it out.
That's where I yeah that's where I saw. I'm not sure exactly where or who I. Mm,
But this is
but
why
the gist of was is that uh Static Shock was him and other heroes, you know, in his vicinity were handling that because, in the broad sense of things, superheroes can't be everywhere and every time. Superman isn't solving or stopping every robbery in Metropolis. He's not, you know, stopping every fucking, you know, getting every single cat out of a tree. So, and again, a lot of these small outskirts cities or whatever, they don't have anyone doing things until something, you know, big bad happens, a rocket falls there or a big old
well
corporation. So is it those bang babies and other
well
it's who's the other Black Lightning? Is he a bang baby or that's separate?
Bang Baby. No, Black Lightning is separate,
Okay,
different.
okay,
Like,
okay, okay.
but I will say this. I will say this. The thing that Dakota City had, right, that made it um interesting is that they didn't have any superheroes there. They didn't have no superheroes because the
No
sort of
powers either,
crime.
right?
Like nobody had powers there after the the Big Bang is what they call it. Because the thing is, um, like the Dakota City was fashioned. They had like a it's like very urban sort of feel.
Okay.
Like it was young kids that got powers for the most part. All of them was teenagers. Like Hot Streak was like a teenage bully. Like imagine Flash Thompson with Human Torch's power or something like that. Like he was just you know, bro, he was a teenager with powers and he was like a hard case. Whatever the case may be, I'm just saying like all the powers were had like young people had them.
Damn, they Dakota City had their own like semi. I'm not sure of his exact powers. I know you'll be able to possibly tell me, but his name was Icon.
Icon, I don't remember. Icon is Icon. Oh yeah. He's a monster. Yeah, I don't know if he's from Static Shock though.
Well, like, he's
I
not.
think
He's not. Okay, so no, he's not. He's not from Static Shock, but he protect. He now resides in
Dakota City.
in Dakota in Dakota City, and it says he's a extraterrestrial superhero from the planet Terminus, Arminus, who protects. Powers include. Well, actually, it didn't say what his powers include. Powers include unique physiology, superhuman strength, flight, Superman. So
Yeah,
ish,
yeah,
ish. Put
yeah.
some
He's a
respect
clone. He's
on
a
it,
pretty much
on his
yeah.
name, but we do know that it is what it is when it comes to certain thing. Where's my Static Shock picture? Oh, there we go. All right.
But
So
mm,
they had their own superheroes. They didn't have anything. This event created their villains and their superheroes.
yeah, and most of them were just kids. So Static Shock, right? What happens is that he takes up like because for example they took on this the tone of this show is like they're in the hood,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
they're in the hood like it's rough and tumble. Static Shock got like a middle like middle class
Yeah, his dad, widow
upbringing.
dad.
Yeah, and his sister, his dad, he got an older sister, his dad, and he's still trying to get over his mother's death or whatever the case may be.
Getting
So,
bullied.
yeah, so he's awkward. Best friend is this kid that's also awkward. Glasses. They both couple nerds. Um, and then they both go through their own thing in the cartoon where what's his friend's name, man? I feel dirty not knowing it. Roger, I forget it. But he's a beast. He's one of the
Richie
aforementioned
Foley.
Rich. There you go. RF Big Foley. So what happens with him is that he ends up being one of those late boomers, and his superhero name ended up being Gear. And he's what he is his brain is like mutated to the point where he's like super intelligent,
Okay.
so he can create anything from anything
And
as long
does
as
he
the
create
stuff
stuff? Does he create stuff with static?
um throughout the course of the show because again
Late
I
bloomer.
yeah he's a late boomer but he doesn't understand so he kind of helped Static he kind of helped create most of the paraphernalia Static got you know and he becomes a valuable ally to yep there you go N- they owe us a good Static and Gear um they like the actors that they pick to play Static Shock and Gear are gonna have to be two dudes that are very young.
Yeah, I agree. Static Shock still needs to be. Again, that's why I asked about Black Light in the sense of um if they were connected, if because again, I don't know if they were connected in a sense was like Lightning, the adult version, Static Shock, but they obviously separate. That said, so and they obviously teenager, yeah, he has to be very young. So we're going high school, college is pushing it. Freshman in college is pushing it, but possibly if they want to go there. I think that would be a good.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm gonna
No,
tell you
go ahead,
why.
go ahead.
Yes,
No, this way, yeah. I'm
I'm gonna
here for
tell
the
you.
debate. Yeah, let's go.
I'm making my case because he has a big presence in the future.
Of
He
DC,
has to. Yeah, you're
how
seeing him
so?
with Batman Beyond.
Well, yes, okay, yes.
You see what I mean? But it's always even in the cartoons. There's Terry McGinnis runs into Static Shock in the
Yep,
cartoon.
I
You
did
know what I
have a
mean?
picture of that too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like there's no instance in which you create a Static Shock that's going to be like a grandpa when Terry McGinnis is suiting up, you know. And if James Gunn wants to make this whole thing come full circle, he'll be smart and make sure that he books the kid or the kids that are going to be his bang
It's,
baby dynamic duo.
I
They're
saw a
young.
really good picture, but it's cut off. There you go. It was cut off, and I was like, "No, nah, I don't want the cut off one." But yeah, that's a cleared up version. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So, how do you think his introduction should be?
I think that there should be some type of so uh, Alva Industries was working on some quantum technology of some sort. There should be a movie that introduces something like one of these movies. I think that before you introduce Static, the Justice League should be already founded
Okay, and
because
so you think that obviously everyone agrees that the Justice Gang was a place. It's a filler. The building, all of it, a filler. Hey, we got a Justice Gang now. You guys, everyone, and then Mama know eventually once we fill out the roster what this is going to be. So I feel like that's there. All we got. So you thinking we not getting? Are you saying we're not? Or your assumption is we're not getting Static Shock until they establish, even until after they establish the Justice League?
the Justice League has to be established. You want to know why?
Because we
Because
can
one
agree
of
that
the
those people exist. So we can assume that obviously in the year, if we're going, because Gunn's going to keep the timelines kind of close, so we can assume that 3 years, assuming it been 3 years at the start of the movie, Static Shock is he's a young kid. He's not a teenager yet. So that gives years for the Justice League to become a thing. Correct?
yes,
Okay.
Ne- yes. I'm gonna, and the thing is, James Gunn has to skirt these themes delicately because in the cartoon they could whitewash a lot of the stuff with you know, TVY7 shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Static Shock lived in the hood. He had a middle class home, pretty decent house. But his after his mother died and they moved into this new house, they lived in the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? And and he got bullied. So the how do like the one of the themes that Static Shock did have was that um and I need to maybe rewatch some of Static Shock. Was that Static Shock? I think in conversation with somebody says something like, you know, those superheroes don't come over here type.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
I
we
want to
don't.
say we were talking to our boy when he said that.
I think he was like yeah, he's like
Because and then led more to as well as the conversation is like the reason why like the series as a whole kind of in his opinion or the general consensus, or maybe was that there's real superheroes and come over here, and a lot of people didn't care what was happening over there in the
Yeah, like
comics and outside the comics because there was a whole universe around all of those characters.
yeah. He's like, this is just Dakota City. Look what happened. Like, because the thing is, the whole thing that fed into Static becoming what he was is that nobody came, bro.
Yeah.
Like no, like when, and maybe we should even like do an episode watching some Static Shock just to get
I'm
back
fucking
into
down.
it. But like if you rewatch, like, the Big Bang happened, right? Because of Alpha Industries, and then like nobody showed up to help with what happened, and then there was like all this cover up, and then
With the accident.
yeah. It, just nothing came of it. Nothing came of it. Type joint. Eventually, I think that Batman showed up, but like
But
I
yeah,
think
a little too late. So sorry,
yeah,
whatever. I get that.
but Static Shock had been already like handling all sorts of madness, and you know what I'm saying. He had his little coming up, uh,
So,
like Peter Parker or whatever.
we're thinking that obviously he has to be young. We're doing that. We need him, and we got to wait to have the Justice League is established. Then obviously they got to be prepared to introduce. So again, we're thinking introduction, and then blast off into doing his own thing. Not his.
But what?
We got to admit that they don't like to try. Risk it with these types, especially with super unknown characters.
But let's dig deep. Let's dig deep. All right. So what hero or villain uses quantum technology or quantum energy?
Was that
Because
his villains? Quantum energy.
the quantum vapor. Nah, well, all right. So Alva Industries is working on some quantum quantum vapors for whatever reason. That was like the the thing that made them all change. So it would have to be something like they found some technology that had them create or synthesize it into quantum vapor. So I'm thinking, how do you fold that into the whole corporate entity versus meta versus government? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If we're holding on to that motif, I'm trying to weave a story, if you will, with what we already know about
The
the world of
universe.
Static Shock. You know what I'm
So we know
saying?
it's going. So that said, his introduction has to have someone going to Dakota City.
Some with
And
something
something has
quantum,
to happen there. Yeah.
something quantum. Well, Alva Industries would have been working on something that got them into synthesizing something called quantum vapor.
Quantum.
The
And the quantum
it
vapor is what gave people the powers.
Yeah, it busted. There's an explosion. The gases. It's almost like you ever seen how like a fire happens and the ashes are everywhere, sort of thing. So this explosion sort of like seeped into everybody's lungs or whatever the case may be, and then it kind of rewrote them. Think kind of like Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what DC? I'm gonna look it up right now. What DC characters deal with quantum anything? So
No, but it wouldn't be the characters that we need to worry about. It will be a way to tie the corporation to something. The corporation is making a quantum vapor, so we need it's Alpha Technologies.
Alva,
Alpha, yeah. So we got to think what other things that Alva, what other ties that Alva had, and if any of those people are introduced, maybe because quantum could be anything, but we got to have a reason for that company to be um around. Alva what?
Alva Industries.
Chemical research company. Um, they created Bang Baby. That's pretty much what their main claim to fame is. Yes.
It's a mutagenic gas, so it's kind of like
So yeah, we just gotta they gotta have a reason. They just gotta have a reason to introduce the company.
yeah, and they have every reason, like several reasons to be able to do that. I'm
The CEO was a guy named Hardware.
Yo, look, it was accidentally released during a gang war in Dakota City.
Yeah.
Look at that, bro. Yeah, warring gangs with superpowers.
Dude, man, that's what.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's what it turned
the,
into.
the Bloods and Crips are superpowers. Now, you understand? You understand? Like James Gunn has to be able to capture like harsh urban attitudes. Like living in the hood was like this. It has to. It's a challenge because he just made Superman, and it was like the bright and shiny show. Like it was like a
So
like
I hear he's doing a fantastic things with Peacemaker. People are absolutely loving it. Obviously the teasers we're getting for the other shows that he's working on. Gun Lanterns is coming. More stuff is coming from that.
another thing
We
on the watch list.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, definitely. That's automatic. Definitely automatic. So, let's how about, man, we can wrap this up. Obviously, we're talking about the gun don't jam, no gun control needed here.
No
You know,
control DC.
what are other famous gun quotes? I need to say some more.
This is the podcast where we bear arms. The gun show.
Let's see.
Oh man.
Was it the gun don't jam and what else? The gun don't jam. No. Let's see.
No gun control on DC.
No gun control here. Oh wow. That it's answering itself that didn't want to answer, so I ain't worry about that. But that said, we appreciate you guys listening to us talk about the gun. We're gonna come back deeper. We're gonna do our fan casting. We're gonna have that set up, a little bit more. We got a bunch of cool tier list stuff coming also. So we appreciate you all listening. As always, please like, share, subscribe, tell someone, even if you just say, hey, check out this podcast. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna get our social media together over the next week or so. That way you guys can find us on social media if you want to. But info's on the page. So thank you again. And we'll check you guys next time. Bye.
Whether you like us or not.
Later. The weather always comes. All
Look
right.
up.